Hey guys, Jacob here. This is going to be the 25th of November vendor reset for the daily Thieves Den. Today he is in DZ South. Just a reminder, look on the right hand corner, you guys can see where the Thieves Den vendor is available. He can flip, so he might currently be in DZ South at the moment, but if the occupation does flip, he could be in East or West, depending on where the occupation flips. So that's just a reminder that his inventory can change. But he is in DZ South at the moment, and when you guys go to him, he is selling the 0F's Badger Tough chess piece. You guys have 14 hours and 30 minutes to pick this up. From Badger Tough, you're going to get Perfectly Unbreakable from the 0F's chess piece. This one actually is not that bad. It has 17% total armor, 8.5 crit chance, and skill power. It does, have potential. You could roll this for 15% weapon damage and have a 17 total armor, or if you wanted to change the skill power to really high, armor or health, you could do that as well. But overall, I know a few people who run this style chess piece and run either armor on it or run weapon damage, and you could make this work on a build. If you're not familiar with Perfect Unbreakable, 100% of max armor is repaired when your armor is depleted. Armor kits used within the next 7 seconds are not consumed, can occur once every 60 seconds. This does require 11 or more defensive attributes. No other active talents affecting armor kits, so you're going to need to stack a decent amount of defensive to actually proc Perfectly Unbreakable. You have an offensive mod and a defensive mod, so that defensive mod slot will actually help you stack into the 11 defensive attributes you're going to need. Ongoing Directive backpack, which this one's actually not too bad if you're trying to make a bleed type build. It has 6% crit chance, 13,000 armor, 3.5 weapon damage, and self-adjusting. You could always change self-adjusting to something like Vital or Hardened, or increase the crit chance or even the armor to stack really high armor with this backpack. To Patriot backpack, which is also not too bad. You can make this into a PvE style build or PvP if you really wanted to, but I know if some of you guys are trying to run a PvP build, you're most likely running the 2-piece, but if you're using a PvE, you're probably using the 4-piece, obviously. And you can always flip the backpack, but if you don't want to flip the backpack and you want to use it, you can always pick this up and change capacitive to hard hitting. That way you'd get your 25% damage to elites, and if you're not, you could always change it to something like Vital or Hardened. Hardwire mask, which has 365 skill power, so if you're looking for a hardwire mask, you could roll that 17% hazard to skill haste, so you have a pretty decent mask you could be using on your hardwire builds. I know you guys will probably have the blueprint, and you guys can always craft more to make a better one. Negotiator's Dilemma mask with 255 skill power and 34% hazard protection. Tip of the Spear holster with 206 skill power and 8% crit chance. So if you're looking for a crit chance and skill power holster for your Tip of the Spear build, you could always make that skill haste way higher and max it out. That way you can get your skills a little bit better on your Tip of the Spear build. Aces and Eights holster, which has crit chance and crit damage as usual. You can always make the crit damage and crit chance a little bit higher if you want to use this on your Aces build, but lately I've noticed they've actually been selling a few better ones, so you could actually probably, if you wanted to wait or potentially even craft one, that may be better. This does have 2 defensive mods, so you will be able to stack damage on this holster. Classic RPK with Strained, Optimized, Stop, Drop, and Roll. So if you're looking for an RPK for like a crit build, you can pick this up and change Optimize to something like Allegro. Pass 12 has Strained, Allegro, and Grease. So if you're looking for a crit style shotgun build, and maybe I guess like some kind of clutch style build if you wanted to try that out, I guess I've heard a few people talking about that. Or if you just want to change Strain to Premeditated and run this Spas 12 in the DZ for PvE and PvP, you could. Richter and Kleiser gloves with marksman rifle damage, pistol damage, and surgical. A dialed in Fenris mask with 114 skill power with skill haste. Utility intensity mod with 4% increased burn duration and 2% increase in stare duration and skill power. And the last thing on the list is going to be the extra bombs for the whole slot that fits in the drone. But overall, the main piece I would recommend picking up is obviously going to be the 0F chess piece, due to the fact it has pretty high armor roll, which is total armor. Even if you guys don't want this chess piece and you need that roll, I'd highly recommend picking it up if you're really desperate to try to find a total armor roll. I know some of you guys probably have some of the 30% or the 20%, that they had in some of the vendors a while back, or if you just got lucky and farmed a decent amount back into U5 and got a pretty good roll, then you may not need this. But if you want a total armor roll and you're fine with spending the 70 currency that it costs to get this because you have a bunch, then I would recommend picking this up and rolling this onto something like, a piece of gear where you don't want to sacrifice when your 30% total armor rolls, because it might be on another piece of gear. But that's going to be about it, guys. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Division 2 content, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next one.